Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. Andy, we're doing the Denver Broncos third in the AFC West, which I think is incorrect. But we don't make the rules. We go by the highly liquid odds to win markets. And in order, right now, the AFC West has the Raiders last, the Broncos third, the Chargers second, and the Chiefs first. Now, there's not a lot separating Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. And if you shop around, you could probably find some differences of opinion out there. But here we are talking about last year's reigning runner-up in the AFC, who won 14 games, hosted the AFC Championship game, and were it not for a fluky history, were it not for a fluky broken ankle, could have been the team that got their teeth kicked in by the Seahawks in the Super Bowl instead of the Patriots, because that game was a hot fucking mess, and Jarrett Stidham obviously didn't help. But I'm a little surprised that with the way their offseason went, with the way their offseason went, which is effectively we are running it back. We are taking our advantage of having a quarterback on a rookie deal. We're going to use that to go get an elite weapon. Otherwise, we're basically going back to war with all of the elite players that made us special last year and got us to 14 wins. We have an intact coaching staff. Like, usually these kind of fingerprints on a team make a team a little buzzy. You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh,
so herein lies the problem. Herein lies the problem, Drew.
Okay.
The other teams in the division, not named the Raiders, who actually have some fun buzz of their own with Mendoza and Kubiak, I suppose, in a different sense. One team is getting their quarterback back, and that's exciting because he is all that matters in Kansas City, apparently. And the other team is getting a genius at offensive coordinator who's back where he should be as an offensive coordinator and not a head coach. So there's plenty of buzz around, Kansas City and Los Angeles. Maybe there's just not enough left, but I'm in the same boat with you. And a big part of it comes down to what happened after that fateful Jarrett Stidham game where they lost 10-7. Just an awful game.
Unwatchable. I dare you to rewatch that one.
You're a Broncos fan, but who was fired after that game, Drew?
I mean, not immediately, but eventually Diana Rossini got fired.
Go there.
I don't know.
Lombardi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He got fired after that? Oh, I forgot. I did not clock that. I did not clock that.
He was someone who had spent a lot of time with Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah.
12 seasons over two different stints. He was with him as a Saints head coach, with the Saints as well. So somebody that Payton liked and had some respect for and decided, hey, we're close. This isn't, I don't know that it was super knee jerk. I think it was kind of some of the parts from the team. It's like, this defense carried us a lot. We got some stuff out of the offense at times, but we're maybe limited a little here, and we're going to find a different way to do it. Not only that, but the fact that Payton gave up play calling. So there's some weird signals where it's like, does this crazy old man, who, by the way, when I was looking for pictures of Sean Payton, he is slowly morphing into Mattress Mac. He looks a lot like Mattress Mac. When you look at him now, it's like, oh no, he used to look like Kevin James. Now
is he on vitamin? Is he on the? He's on the vitamin O.
I don't know. He just looks old as shit. I mean, he's not that young anymore. But this crazy old man, is he thinking like, this is it? We're going for it. And then obviously the trading some draft capital for a known quantity to try to help that side of the ball as well, keeping most of the band together on the defense. Yeah, there should be some buzz. I bet this team to win the AFC. I think they,
Ooh, I'm gonna try to. You already did?
Yeah, I don't care. I get it was like 11. I'm right off the bat. I'm like, and I know looking at how the schedule breaks, and I feel like I may have made a misstep there, and there's a spot probably around the bye that might be a better entry point for this team.
Well, like, am I crazy
to begin with?
Am I crazy though? Like, how many people have kind of outwardly professed their love for like the Houston Texans?
I made a bunch. A lot of people like that team.
Oh, I mean, the questions there are much more glaring than they are for the Broncos. It's basically the same kind of general rubric. You have uber talented defense that's a little scheme agnostic because it's just so much talent, particularly on coverage. And if your offense hits any type of ceiling with Davis Webb now calling the plays, then this is like another 14-win season. I think one of the things that does kind of throw some cold water on people's opinion of the Broncos this year, beyond just what you were kind of referencing, which is other teams in the division have reasons to kind of draw your attention away. They overachieved last year. Their Pythag win was 11-6. They went 14-3. They had a stretch through the middle of the season where they were flying pretty far under the radar. 1-2 start. No one was really, kind of super impressed with anything that Bo Nix had done to that point. But then from week 4 to week 15, they did not lose, Andy. 11-game win streaks are hard to sustain in the NFL. There were some lucky wins in there, notably the Giants win. Actually, the Jets win was pretty lucky. You stunk that day. You won there. You eked that one out 13-11 in London. That was my least favorite watch of the. Was that the shower fart game of the year? And
that was one of the worst games I've ever watched. And that's the problem when your team's based on like an all world defense and an offense that is still kind of finding its legs. If you have an off day,
it's real off.
It can devolve into a very bad football game because when it happens, it seems to happen against bad teams, and then that bad team in a normal situation, well, you just get shit kicked out of you that day. Well, we had a bad day. This other team took advantage and beat us. But when you play a bad team that can't, it actually makes it into a really unwatchable football game. Yeah,
I think that was the game where Justin Fields had something like 14 yards passing. The Giants game was the next week, and that one was hilarious. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
The Giants were up 33-8 or something crazy in that one. 26-8. Giants were up 26-8, Andy, with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and lost. That's very, very tough to do. Will Lutz 39-yard field goal as time expired. The Broncos got the lead, lost the lead, and then got it again in the final as time expired.
It was kind of like that. God, it was like that Dallas Washington game where it's like
awesome, crazy.
Too many people are scoring.
Pew, pew, pew. All right. The point is though that I think people will kind of look at that and assume regression is coming, and I think. They'll assume that the Chiefs are going to be tougher. The Chargers are going to be tougher. The Raiders may be tougher. And for all these reasons, good luck getting back to 14 wins. But for me, I mean, if this team avoids, significant injuries, particularly to some of their key defensive players, I don't know how they're not winning games in the regular season. This is a very, very good team. And I think the kind of upside of adding a player like Waddle to this wide receiver room, they're like, what would be a conceivable concern about the way that this team has been rostered?
I mean, you have struggled to put together a good wide receiver room for the better part of a long time now. You've you've had a bunch of draft picks. You've taken a bunch of bites at the apple over the past, decade. And a lot of the guys, the Mims and the Franklins, and it's like, hey, there's been flashes, but it's never solidified, whether it's through injury or how they actually perform. You haven't had that guy been like, all right, this is it. This is our guy outside of, I mean, depends where you rank Sutton, but Sutton's good. Sutton's pretty good, but I mean, he's a
fine wide receiver one. He's a fucking awesome wide receiver too.
Yeah. That just, you've had a lot of attempts at trying to find that guy at wide receiver. And I like doing this where you're a team who's clearly going for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter how good somebody is in college. Remember how good Marvin Harrison was in college?
Yeah.
Guys sometimes don't translate, and sometimes we don't know the reasons why. But when you're a team that's going for it and you have the choice between, hey, we can trade up and maybe get one of these rookie receivers and hope it works out, or we can just fucking give up a little extra and just go get a guy that we know is already good. Hey, this guy is already very good. And if we add him, our wide receiver room takes a definite step up. And then, yes, Sutton as a 2 is awesome. You have, a decent running back room. Troutman, you could do a lot worse. And you'll have to figure out the slot, I guess, a little bit. But it takes a big step forward because the offense, that was something that was missing from the offense at times.
So what's your read on the Palace intrigue for the OC? Because I think you were kind of teasing it in what you were saying earlier. You feel like the moving on from Lombardi, like a trusted consigliere, and elevating Davis Webb as aggressively as you did. Like, I think everyone around the league is probably paying attention to that, right? Like Sean Payton is clearly setting up Davis Webb to be either his successor in Denver or hired away, correct?
Yeah. Davis Webb is so young too. It wasn't that long ago. If you go to his Wikipedia page, I had to pull this up because this was up. I had this up earlier. His photo is Webb with the Texas Tech Red Rangers in 2014.
Red Raiders.
Man, that's not that long ago. This guy definitely played for like 5 teams in the NFL too.
Was he a Giant?
Played for the Giants.
Mostly?
He was a Giant, a Bill, a Jet. Honestly, maybe he never left the state of New York, New Jersey. But
yeah. Speaking of Denver quarterbacks, by the way, did you see Case Keenum played this weekend? He's back in our lives. The Bears backup. But the Davis Webb thing is interesting to me because, like, you can read it a couple of ways. Pretty clearly, in order to keep him in-house, they had to elevate him. That's my assumption, right? Like, if someone else was going to hire him away and give him play calling duties, then there's nothing you can do. If you elevate him and give him play calling duties, then the only team that could hire him away is a team that is making him the head coach. Am I understanding that correctly?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure that's just the way it works.
And possibly, yeah. I mean, it's tough to take one of those lateral moves where I'm going to go be an OC for another team unless it's these OCs that don't call plays, and he calls plays.
Yeah.
That's the part. That's the rub.
Yeah. So pretty clearly there's signal, I think, in someone like Sean Payton deciding, like, we got a hot hand here, got to get him into this role, got to keep him in the house. And he's expecting he will probably, if the Broncos get a 1 seed this year, if they make a deep run in the playoffs, if Bo Nix takes a step forward, Davis Webb is getting head coaching interviews next cycle. He may not get hired. He may need to do this for a couple of years, but I'm guessing that there is general interest in him as kind of a young, bright offensive mind, and that's why they're doing this.
It's crazy too. That's my big takeaway from him. His coaching career started in 2023.
Sean McVay-esque, right? I mean, in terms of how, like, he was
the quarterback. They brought him in to be the quarterback's coach here. He got moved up to pass game coordinator, and then boom, guess what? You're calling plays. Not just, hey, I need a guy to step in and help me game plan because I'm the play caller. You you've done and shown me enough over the last couple of years that I want you calling these plays on game.
Yeah. Micromanagement, palace intrigue, concerns over Sean Payton taking back play calling if there is regression in the air.
I don't worry about that because that's a thing that could happen. You have a guy that's called plays plenty of times that could say, hey, we need to fix this right now. I mean, I think that's a panic button. And I think if that happens, I don't know. I guess you could. Does it ever feel like that fixes anything? Can you think of a situation where like Dan Campbell took play calling duties and the Lions were suddenly fixed?
No,
you know?
No. It's usually we're drowning here and trying to grab the line or the lifeline.
Yeah. So if that happens, I mean, it feels like things have gone awry anyway, and I don't care.
Okay. All right. Bo Nix did break his ankle in the Bills playoff win. His performance in that game was surprisingly plucky, I thought, compared to how he looked the previous year playing the Bills. Now the Bills defense was very, very bad, and they were also coming off of a game where they were playing in Florida against the Jags and had fought very hard to win, whereas the Broncos were on bye, so that matters. But I think what Bo Nix did over the balance
should get the bye. It's so much easier than playing the Jaguars
that way. But yeah, I mean, the what the Broncos did over the balance of the season, I thought was, and what Bo Nix did over the balance of the season and in that playoff game was, I thought, very positive signal about his growth and his arc, his development arc. Is he perfect quarterback? Absolutely not. But is he a quarterback that has a relatively high floor when you put him behind the best offensive line in football and have a play designer and a play caller like Sean Payton in the building? Is he capable of giving you 66 to 75th percentile? Yes, I would say he is. And he proved that last year, I thought, pretty clearly. His weaknesses were very obvious, I thought. He's a player that does not really like to... he doesn't go for the high degree of difficulty stuff. He throws a ball that if a wide receiver is unable to make a play on the ball, it's not getting picked off. He's a very safe quarterback, I would say. He's not a risk taker. He's not a gunslinger. He's fast. Excuse me. He's fast. Remains to be seen if the broken ankle affects his fastest man on the field. High watermark that he hit was that his rookie year? First game, he was the fastest player in football in a scramble.
Sneaky fast.
Remains to be seen if he continues to develop that part of his game or if he opts for more of a pocket quarterback role just as he is on the mend. And I think the additional skill in the wide receiver room presumably will unlock parts of the field that he was unwilling to take on, like over the middle. And maybe it's just never going to be in his nature to do the risky stuff. And if that is the case, and Bo Nix does not ever really kind of move to the next stage of quarterback play, then to me, the Broncos are kind of stuck in purgatory where they are going to win a lot of regular season games and then at some point flame out in the playoffs. Which is why I wouldn't take them on in the AFC right now.
Yeah. I don't know. So people were kind of, why didn't he play in that preseason game? Well, people don't always play in the preseason, guy.
A lot of starters didn't.
A lot of starters don't play in the preseason. He's 100% fully participant. He has no restrictions in camp. It seems like everything's fine. This was a broken ankle that you couldn't tell was broken during the game and at the end there. As he was leaving the field and whatnot. It wasn't the Gordon Hayward, oh my God, his foot's backwards. I'm trying to think of the worst.
How many days after you heard about
Gordon
the injury?
Hayward?
Yeah, it was Gordon Hayward. How
What's
many days?
The worst one is that?
That one was bad. There's so many. There's so many.
That one is gross.
How many days after you heard about the injury did you secretly suspect that he heard it celebrating in the locker room?
like immediately. I'm like,
No, I know, but for how long did you maintain the potential? Like, I'm going to need to hear all the facts. I'm expecting somebody will leak that he heard it in the locker room.
Yeah, I thought something like that. Did he fall down the stairs on the way home or what? Because it just didn't seem like an injury that happened during the game. No, I'm with you there.
So yeah, I think to me at least, success for the Broncos this year is another high seed, a deep or playoff run. Yeah, at least a more competitive effort in an AFC Championship game, maybe even Super Bowl appearance. But I think there's a world where, but we've seen what Bo Nix can do. We know what his ceiling is, and that just his general demeanor, as far as lack of being a risk taker, does keep this offense with a lower ceiling than the other offenses in the AFC that could hit a higher potential, right? And when I compare them to the other kind of high floor teams like the Texans in the AFC, to me, they are already a clear step ahead because of the quality of the offensive depth chart. And just in general, the belief in the voices in the room know what the fuck they're doing. Whereas I don't know that I would say that with confidence about the Texans. And I don't know, high floor team is going to be in the playoffs unless there's some catastrophic injury, I think. And then really it's just a matter of, does Bo Nix shine in the playoffs? Does he have his Joe Flacco moment, or is Bo Nix always going to be stuck in this category of a guy that's not going to elevate you?
Yeah. All right, let's get through some of the offseason, the rest of the offseason. Like we mentioned, the 14 wins, the 1 seed, the bad beat, having to start Jared Stidham in a very important playoff game. RIP. Great offensive line last year, great defense, a lot of fun names. They lost John Franklin Myers to Tennessee.
He mattered. He
matters.
Is
about the only thing that they lost that is probably going to matter. He is an important part of that defense. They still have a ton of good players, but he was a really good pass rusher. He had 8 sacks.
Elite run defender.
Yeah, now they're going to lean on there's a rookie that might have to fill in a little outside of, DJ Jones and Roach in the middle there on the defensive line.
Both very good players, but John Franklin Myers will be missed.
Yes, you can't keep everybody. PJ Locke to Dallas. He played 10 games. He's core special teams guy, but he's gone, as well as Dre Greenlaw, who was more of a cap savings type thing. And then you added Jalen Waddle. We mentioned the trade. They gave up a first, third, and a fourth for Waddle and a fourth. Good job by you. You picked up another safety in free agency, Tyson Anderson from Cincinnati. Is that it? Is that the whole offseason? Did I get it? That's pretty much if you don't let anybody out of the building and you're a very good team, you don't need to add a lot. And when you did add a lot, you added Jalen Waddle. And then obviously your draft class is incredibly weak because you didn't have a first or a second rounder in this one. So your first pick was Tyler Oneidem, as I mentioned, an interior defensive tackle, probably going to be part of the rotation and probably needed to be part of that rotation with the loss of Franklin Myers. Franklin Myers, did I say his name right? I keep mixing up.
Jonathan Franklin Myers.
Jonathan Franklin Myers. You drafted a running back in the 4th round. He's 3rd on your depth chart. Jonah Coleman from Washington. With the pick that did come back from Miami, you took an offensive lineman from Boise State, Cage Casey, a tight end, Justin Jolly from NC State in the 5th, and then some depth elsewhere at safety, tight end, and Mr. Irrelevant, Red Murdock from Buffalo, the NCAA's all-time leader in forced fumbles.
That is a hell of a nugget.
That's what the internet said about him. These guys who are like, it's always some guy who played in like the MAC and played like 5 years at linebacker. Apparently he's looking okay in camp for a guy that was drafted in the 7th round.
They also signed 40 undrafted free agents. So many on this and the third and fourth stringers here. But some of those guys might hit. Who knows? All right. It was a good offseason because of the Jalen Waddle move, in my opinion. And the Franklin Myers loss is the one that I have my eye on.
Yeah.
Because the defense, like, you're running it. The other losses on defense were their worst defensive players, in my opinion. So they're not really that big of a loss. And the guys you're backfilling with were pretty good. So I think in general, this defense to me looks like they have the talent to be a top 5 unit if they are healthy. However, they are clearly a little bit fragile because the depth is now going to be tested. Is that a fair way to put it?
That is, yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you get good. Your depth starts to suck because those guys who are like, hey, I could start somewhere else, but I'm stuck behind another all-pro. Maybe I view myself as somewhere who can go get some better money and more playing time elsewhere.
Well, I hope Red Murdock makes this team, and I hope he has it's great. Another great name, by the way. Hat tip to Trey Smack. Did you see him kicking field goals? 57, 58 yarder that got taken off the board with the penalty. That Trey Smack could kick.
So Red Murdock went to the University of Buffalo, where he set the record. In 3 seasons, by the way. He redshirted, only played a little bit in his freshman year. So he did this in 3 years. He broke the NCAA career record for forced fumble, as previously held by same university.
Oh, Khalil Mack?
Yes, that's funny.
No way.
It was previously held by another.
Oh my God!
And Khalil Mack. Yeah, I figured you'd get it if I gave you that.
That's
otherwise,
cool.
Who the fuck were you gonna guess?
I don't think I know a third Buffalo player. Like, there was one running back who was. There was a running back who was pretty good too. Whatever. Andy,
I digress. Let's get into the ratings. Coaching real quick. Vance is back. Rizzy's back. Logan Kilgore is your new quarterbacks coach.
Good call. The Rizzler, I forgot, was the special teams coordinator.
Good special teams coach.
Yeah. Well-run organization. I think I like what they're doing. Before we get into the ratings, Andy, the Denver Broncos preview podcast is brought to you by Circa Professional Football Contests. The clear number 1 football contests in the game, and the margin is so great between Circa and the next best that it's not even worth measuring. The
immeasurable.
The contests, of course, are run by Circa out of Las Vegas, which means you need to be there in person to sign up. If you're going to do that, you know what a great time to go is? Contest sign-up weekend. There will be college football on. There will be great events like the open bars and social stuff that they did last year was just flat out awesome. You go there, you sign up in person, you find a proxy, presumably Vegas Matty, who kicks major ass, and then you can play from anywhere. You can get a team of friends together and split the entry if you want. You can consolidate many entries if you are a highly liquid player, or you can play Grandissimo, where you're putting $100,000 at stake to win presumably 3-4 million, maybe more. Anything else you want to say about the contest, Andy?
No, apparently most people sign up at Circa, but you can also sign up at the D, at the Silverton Casino Lodge, the Tuscany Suites and Casino in Southern Nevada, or
Reno.
Legends Bay Casino. Can you tell me what town Legends Bay
Sparks?
Casino is?
Is that Sparks?
Yes.
I've been there. I've been to Sparks, and I've been to that casino.
You might have been up that way.
Yeah, I've been there.
So if you're like, oh, I'm not getting to Vegas this year,
right on the Truckee River.
Sparks.
Yeah. If you're gonna go float the Truckee River, if you're gonna float the Truckee River, you're gonna go right by it. You might as well stop and sign up for the Circuit contests when you're there. All right. With that, the quarterback OC rating for the.
I stayed at the D. I thought the D was fine. Again, I didn't spend much time. My room. I took like 3 naps in and went there for the night.
I thought the walk on Fremont Street between the D and Circa was significantly gnarlier than in years past.
It's fine in the middle of the day when everyone's out having fun. If you're doing it solo at like 4 a.m. leaving the Legacy Club or at some crabs, the crowd at 4 a.m. is a little more solicitory.
Yes. It was a crowd. That said, the ratings for the Broncos are just glowing numbers everywhere. But the one thing that I think is going to ultimately determine, is this a team that you are talking about power rated in the top 3 or a team that is kind of just in the top 10, is the QBOC number. And for me, going into the season, I'm coming in a little bit low at a 4.7 for Nix plus Webb. And I'm prepared to be adjusting and aggressively adjusting this one. We're going to get signal right the fuck away when they play the Chiefs on Monday Night Football week 1. We will get signal. Is Bo Nix healthy? Have they added new layers to his game? Is Davis Webb up to the job? And for those, I'm kind of middle shotting this with a 4.7. I'm middle shotting this with a 4.7 because there's world where we get signal from that game and I'm turning this down into like high 3s. And then there's world where we get signal from this game and I'm going up to like 5.6. I don't think there's any world where I'm really kind of making the case that Bo Nix is a MVP candidate this year. They're going to win a lot of games. He might get that kind of shine. But ultimately, I don't see him doing enough in terms of high leverage, difficult playmaking to warrant consideration as the MVP. So, yeah. What do you think the highest you will go with Bo? Where are you now?
I'm at a 5. I'm in the same spot where.
How high are you willing to go?
You cut down on some of the turnover worthy plays. You're pushing it down the field a little more. And again, it's an OC QB number. I got to see a really nice game plan that's utilizing Waddle and Sutton to the best of their abilities. It could be up there. It could be 6s. It's just I don't know that Nix is going to ever get to that stratosphere of the elite quarterbacks. But what he does inside of this offense could be special. With you still have Sean Payton at the helm. He's still going to be a big part of this, no matter who's calling plays. He's still a huge part of that install, and that's another reason why my number's low. Like, yes, I love the fact that they brought this guy in. Buffalo tried to get him on the coaching staff while he was there, apparently too. Like they had this guy as a backup quarterback or practice squad. What was it? And the Bills wanted him to come in and be a QB coach right away. And he said, I got a little more juice in the tank. I'm going to play for like 1 more year. I'm going to go back to the Giants, give it 1 more try. But I think just it speaks to, like we said, how highly thought of he is, especially by Payton. But he's never done it. I can't just give him a high rating off the vibes and the feels. So yeah, kind of like you said, middle of the pack for me.
Okay.
And I'm part of this is Sean Payton. Like, I know you're not the OC, but you kind of are part of the OC.
Year 3 for Nix. He was good his rookie year, not great. He was a little better his sophomore year. That came with a whole bunch more wins. But really small incremental step forward from him. I could see another one, but a small incremental step forward from where he was to where he could go, to me, still kind of has him on the outside of the top 10. So not expecting the world from Mr. Nix. The skill position group dragged down by the depth, the tight end, and the running back. I like the wide receiver 1 and 2. I like building an offense around those players. I think this running back room has huge questions, both from a health standpoint and from a are you actually good standpoint. And I don't really understand what their intention is with these group of tight ends. So I'm gonna. Did I say my number?
5.2 is what I had.
5.2. 5.2.
Well, yeah, I'm right around there. I'm at a 4.9, which felt bad having Sutton and Waddle on there, but yeah, the slot, it's looking like Pat Bryant might be the guy. The tight end room is, like you said, and I'm not super sure what the plan is there by bringing, you got Ingram, Troutman, and Justin Jolly, and then the depth kind of stinks and the injuries. I'm probably going to bump this up a little once I know everyone's healthy, but like Dobbins, Waddle, Mims, all have had little, hiccups, banged up soft tissue stuff here in camp already. So I'm not banking on this team being 100% right now.
Okay. Offensive line for me is a 7.1. I feel like this is potentially low. That makes them a top 5 unit for me in the NFL. They were very, very, very healthy and available last year, especially their key players. There was an argument to be made that Garrett Bowles should have been in the mix for Protector of the Year. He was probably nominated, right? He was in the finalists.
He was. Yeah,
he deserved it. He's awesome. He might be your second best offensive lineman because right guard Quinn Miners is an absolute budding superstar as far as a right guard could be. And then Mike McGlinchey, he's still around. Notre Dame top 10 pick for the Niners back in the day, if I remember correctly. Same year as who's the guy in Indy? Quentin Nelson.
Quentin Nelson
came out
over 1.5.
Over 1.5 Notre Dame players. That's where I was going. Mike McGlinchey still, RIP and peace 5 dimes. But Ben Powers good, Luke Wattenberg good, Quinn, Garrett awesome, McGlinchey fine. This is a very, 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 very high floor offensive line. Do you agree? Is this your number one, number 2?
Yeah, I had 8.5.
8.5.
I do offensive line a lot more. Just here's the numbers I'm plugging in. What are you going to give me if everybody plays? And then I give you a little bonus if everybody played, if there's continuity, and there's a shitload of continuity and so many good players. Bowles, Miners. What is center your weak spot then?
Yeah.
Wattenberg is like
that's the thing though. Center's my weak spot, but like everybody's center kind of sucks. So it's not like everybody's center sucks except for KC's, right? Creed Humphrey's the only like good center in the league, as far as I could tell you. I don't know. It's a really good unit. I'm probably low. I'm at 7.1. I'm probably low. 8.5.
8.5. Yes.
So that makes the offense for you.
Unit.
That makes the offense for you a top half offense. Is that right?
Oh, let me look at my percentile. Yeah, it's up there. Let's see.
I have him as a 55th percentile offense.
Yeah, I'm 558. I think I got to pull up my chart. It's up there though. Yeah, I mean, still we're pretty close in the quarterback number, and that does a lot of the lifting.
The weighted EPA for them as an offense last year kind of had them in the middle of the pack, so I didn't feel like I was way off having them at 55th percentile as a total unit. But again, if small step forward for Knicks, medium step forward for Knicks, all of a sudden we're talking about a very, 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 very robust rating for this team because the defense is untouchably solid. And it starts with the coverage unit, which for me is the second highest in football after Philly, and actually third highest. I have Philly and Seattle higher. I have Denver a little bit higher than Houston. They are a 7.1 for me for coverage. I took a little heat off of them for run stop because of Franklin Myers leaving. I'm a 6.7, and pass rush I have rated 6.8. So in totality, this is my second best defense with a 69th percentile. How about you?
A little higher. Yeah,
wow.
I'm at like 70 something. I have to look, but run stop is the lowest of the 3 grades. Yeah, that's a 7. It's still very good. 7 out of 10. It's still pretty good. Like you still have Alex Singleton. You still have God, who's the guy that came over from the Niners the other year? Funga at strong safety.
Wow.
You
Great coverage.
You have Brandon Jones, like that, guys that are very additive to the run stop up front, and then you have Zach Allen, who is going to play a lot of snaps and struggles a little bit. Jonathan Franklin Myers leaving hurts a little bit. DJ Jones, good run stopper. Roach needs to improve, and then you have a rookie behind him. So I have that as a 7. Pass rush, I have a 7.9. That's second highest in the league for me. Just Benito, Allen, Cooper. I mean, losing Franklin Myers stinks, but it's still one of the best pass rushes. Love some Benito. Think he's tragically underrated with just 18 sacks, 81 pressures. Like, he has a DPOI resume. He doesn't have the name or the service time yet.
He was the co-favorite at one point 2 years ago, him and TJ Watt, right? And then ultimately, who came and stole it? Was it Surtain? Surtain has a DPOI. I forget who got it that year. Anyway, it's a very, very good defense. Just a quick note, we haven't even mentioned Vance Joseph's name outside of, I think you said he was retained. Is there anything in his scheme that really gets you excited? Or is it literally just he's cooking with elite ingredients?
It feels like it's 60-40 elite ingredients. Like, he's always been a very good coordinator. When he was, I think, asked to do more, that was tough. But he brings a lot to the way they rotate that front around with some of the pass rush. Yeah.
I do want to kind of point out one thing about this secondary. When you're struggling to find a way to get Jahdae Barron onto the field, that is a hell of a good problem to have. Like, they have exceptional depth here in the secondary, and I'm kind of intrigued to see if they can figure out a way to play with 5-6 defensive backs on the field most of the time. I'm guessing that's what they will intend to do. I think this is a unit that could make things very, very, very tough on opposing quarterbacks. And obviously, if you have a player who's as good as Pat Surtain, then that makes everything else easier. But Jaquan McMillan graded out phenomenally last year. Riley Moss actually looks like he might be the weak link. And I'm kind of wondering if they pull the plug on him.
I think some of it was just like, well, what am I going to do? Like, McMillan's an elite nickel corner. Pat Surtain's out there. Hafunga's roaming around sometimes. Brandon Jones. You got a couple of these linebackers. Well, one linebacker can cover. And I guess I'm going to throw at Riley Moss. He had 125 targets thrown at him.
Is that the high watermark of any quarterback?
I don't know. I had to go
probably
look that
is.
Up. That's a lot, though.
It is. Jaquan McMillan gets a special mention, Andy, for winning a playoff game? Question mark?
Pick 6?
It's not his pick 6, but the rip the ball out from Brandon Cook's interception at the end of that Bills game.
That was a good play. I'd forgot about that.
They lose that game if he doesn't get that ball. It's over. Bills Patriots in Foxborough is your AFC title game.
Riley Moss had an interception against Atlanta.
Yeah. They made Josh Allen look bad in that game, and I really want to give the defense credit for that.
Well, and it's fun, too, because Joseph, his quotes, they're making turnovers a priority. This is like, the defense is good, but we can be better. And now that I've had a few years with a lot of these guys, we've had several years working with. And, I talk about the continuity at the offensive line. Continuity at a lot of this defense too is great. So it'd be interesting to see if there's anything up his sleeve this year.
Fun. Well, if you haven't already guessed, we have some pretty elite numbers here for the Denver Broncos in totality. You are lower on coaching than I am. I tend to have a very favorable rating for Sean Payton, particularly his in-game adjustments, I think have always been one of his just, kind of up his sleeve. Has the right adjustments for everything. His fourth down decision making stinks, but that's because he's an old man. What are you going to do? Am I too high on coaching? 6.7. No, you're at 5.4.
A lot of mine is just based on aggressiveness and stuff. Maybe I'm a little low.
Special teams, you're a little lower than me, or a little higher than me. Sorry, 5.1 at 4.5. Will Lutt's going to kick an 80-yarder this year in Mile High.
You can bet on it. I think the long field goal prop is set at like 68 and a half.
What? Where?
Lutz.
Where?
Everywhere. You can bet on that if you want like the record to be broken. Go look for it. People are trying like a lot of really long field goals, especially one with Lutz. Half his game's going to be at altitude. Rizzy's a top tier coordinator. So good defense or good special teams.
All right. Your final percentile is a 61.9. I'm a 57.9. You are a plus 3.43. I'm a plus 3.21. Andy, the market right now on the Denver Broncos has them at a 1.8. Disrespectful. Oh my goodness. Do you see this Monday Night Football opener? What is going on? What is happening?
Let's switch over to the schedule. Let's look at this opener. At Kansas City, banger of a Monday night. Way to close the first week. Long first week because we're starting early. Yeah, probably going to be betting that. So the nasty pass rush against hobbled quarterback coming back. We'll see how
I'm going to save my Pat Mahomes thoughts for the Kansas City pod, but they're not going to be glowing. I'll give you a preview.
Yeah, he's not getting any younger. Not the easiest schedule, though. This is a first-place schedule. You play a ton of tough teams. Your first cupcake is week 7. You have, you're favored over Jacksonville, but that's a team a lot of people have a lot of hopes for this year, and that's a tough one. And then you get the Rams, the Niners, the Chargers, the Seahawks. That's why I said perhaps I made a misstep with not just
because of the
letting that stuff come and go. And if they're 3-3, then firing on them to win the AFC at like 15 or 18 to 1.
You're gonna have a better number than that.
Not when they're 5-1.
Well, yeah. So that's the question. So if you're looking at the schedule that we have live on YouTube as opposed to listening in podcast form, the Denver Broncos right now with the look ahead lines are underdogs in 5 of their first 6 games. Now, none of them are by more than 2. Well, now the KC Denver lines moved to 2.5. I don't know if you've seen that. So we have 5 games where they're 2.5 point dogs. Can we do a look ahead? Denver. Oh no, Patrick, you stole my joke. Damn it. Patrick stole my joke. I was going to say, can we get a 5-leg teaser of Denver week 1, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and hope that they keep it inside 8.5 points in
every one of those games is like 23 points combined. Yeah.
All of them. Yeah. I mean, you're going up against some good offenses, but like we learned, with this defense is going to make good quarterbacks look bad. It will. So yeah, you got a 5-leg teaser with just Denver across 6 weeks there. I don't know. There's a roll of the dice here where they're 0-6, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a thing. That could absolutely happen. Those are some tough defenses you're playing. You get the Rams in Seattle, right? It's not easy.
Thursday night football, they lose to the defending champion Seattle Seahawks to go 0-6. You have an extra week for Sean Payton to figure out what he's going to do as he is taking back play calling from Davis Webb going into the Arizona game. Yeah, I could see it. The schedule makes me less inclined to be a mega bull about the Broncos going into the season.
You know,
even if the
we've
market
talked
is
about that
strong.
a few times. I'm making a number for week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm making the power number, but you also have to start weighing in the schedule when you're looking at some of these season-long stuff. And, you know, this is an absolute Danish of a schedule because you have a nice soft middle and there's going to be a bunch of wins in that middle part of the schedule. And then, you know, come what may at the end, it's not an easy ending with Buffalo, New England Chargers, but 2 of those 3 games are at home where they got to come to, you know, altitude. The Chargers coming to play outside in altitude in January. So you have some advantages there, even with some tough games. The New England one's going to be an absolute banger, I hope, because we were robbed of an absolute banger, what we should have had last season against the Patriots. But, man, you should get a bunch of wins in the middle of the schedule. You just got to withstand the storm to start the year.
And if you do well in that storm, then you're getting the 1 seed.
Yep.
You play on Black Friday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I mean, your violent pass rush against Aaron Rodgers is almost too much to. I'm just delighted at the idea that Denver might be a 1.5 point favorite in that game. I think that matchup would make me want to lay as much as 3 on Denver. For opener, by the way, I have Chiefs as a favorite, but it is not by any kind of points. It is less than a point. So that is going to be a pretty decent opportunity, I think, to take on Denver money line on Monday Night Football. Playing on Christmas versus Buffalo. Actually, wow. Did you say this already? The Buffalo and New England back-to-backers, that was your playoffs last year, and they are Christmas and the 3rd. Bang, bang. Same sequence. That's cool. I like that.
And what is F Thanks? Is that Black Friday?
That's Black Friday. Yeah.
Black Friday at Pittsburgh. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
We didn't mention that in the last podcast, but no primetime games for the Raiders. Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
plenty. Denver made up with that with 5 or 6 here.
Difficult travel in the back half of the season. It should be noted. You get a couple of trips east in a 3-week stretch. You're going east to Pittsburgh, to the Jets, and to the Patriots, all in a pretty tight time window. You're playing the Jets coming off of their bye. Ooh, scary. Not really. And yeah, I think the teams on the schedule where you're going up against a quarterback who's, you know, a bit underwhelming are your opportunities to really flex here. And we're going to have some interesting conversations about how many points are we laying with the Broncos in some of these spots when they're going up against middle to bad quarterbacks. The type of team that I am concerned about the Broncos performing well against is what?
Oh, I suppose an offensive coordinator that can score, you know, even against a tough defense. Offense beats defense every time. I feel the best offense against the best defense every day.
I feel like an elite rushing attack scares me if I'm a Broncos backer, because if you can generate significant rushing success against our front and we have to play more base defense, I think that affects their advantage a little. And if you can run the ball on the Broncos consistently and kind of keep their offense, not give their offense as many chances, you're going to keep them in the teens. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like a real strong running team. Rams is a good example, week 3, right? Like you're going to have a tough time with the Rams. If the Rams offensive line is fully intact in that game, that looks like a bad matchup. Niners, potentially the same story. There's not many other teams on here though that I would qualify as like running team that should scare you. Buffalo on Christmas, you know, you're not playing many elite rushing teams. So not a lot of reason to think that you don't have a chance in a lot of these games where you're small dogs or small favorites. So I think it's still fair to have some cautious optimism about the Broncos heading into the season, even with that start where they're dogs in 5 of 6.
Yeah. I like the bye. The bye's in a nice spot. You get a
Yeah.
cupcake off the bye. You're facing one team off their bye, and it's the Jets.
Yeah.
I think you can probably make up for that. But yeah, weeks 3 through 8 there's kind of brutal.
All right. So here's the thing. What's the playoff picture going to look like? And how much is success in the playoffs going to depend on them having the 1 seed again?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's such a tougher schedule, and
I hate to be a prisoner of what we just saw, but I feel like they have like one playoff win in them, right? I feel like they draw a team where you're in the wild card round, for instance. If they're hosting the wild card round and you have a team with an offense that's not super balanced, or doesn't have a especially strong rushing attack, you could probably win that game. But then you're going to run into the likes of a Baltimore or a Buffalo, and they're going to be able to play a little bit of keep away against you, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
What
are the odds you play a division foe in the playoffs at some point?
Pretty high. I'd say pretty 50, high.
50, yeah.
Yeah, pretty high. I mean, if Mike McDaniel gets a dangerous rushing attack going in LA, then that's a problem for you for winning the division, right? I guess, do you agree with me that a team that can really run the ball efficiently and effectively is the only offenses that are going to succeed against them?
It's not only the weak spot of the defense and, quote unquote weak spot, because it's still very good, but and you just lower the variance by limiting possessions. Don't turn it into a game where you got to go out there and keep defending that offense, because I do think the offense takes a nice step forward. Defense is hard to predict to stay that elite. I mean, most conventional wisdom tells you the defense takes a step back just because it's hard to stay at that elite level over and over again. And then, yeah, if the other team's able to run the ball and you're not winning the turnover battle 2-3-0, it's going to be in close games, and you're relying on a third-year starter and a rookie play caller to win close games. So it'll be tough.
Okay. I feel like there's a stage of elimination bet that would be more fun than hoping they can win 3 games in the AFC playoffs, right? Like, there's just too many potential AFC playoff foes who I think kind of fit the puzzle well, where your offense is going to have to step up to get the job done and get to the next stage. And I'm not going to probably have a single future on the outside of division. And I think timing the division bet gets tricky because I do think they will win week 1 against the Chiefs. So betting plan for me for the Broncos is going to be going into the season with them at best price I can get for the West. And I'm probably going to play a stage of elimination bet, like loses in the divisional round or loses in the conference championship game, if I can get a price that's big enough.
You can probably find a 225 on AFC West. So, I mean, If you think they beat Kansas City, you got to grab that now. Like I said, Benito was kind of interesting for DPOI, but man, it feels like you might just have a repeater there. And I don't know if the number, I took a little, but I don't know if the number's quite big enough. I don't know what that set leaves for, like, award stuff. Sean Payton's not getting Coach of the Year. You don't win Coach of the Year coming off a 14-win season. Shit just doesn't work that way. Who's your OPOI candidate? Waddle, maybe. I don't know. That volume's not going to be there compared to some of the elite receivers that are going to get 150 targets. It's hard to see an award outside of maybe a defensive player or protector of the year, Quinn Miners.
Agreed. All right. Well, I think the market is going to warm up on these guys pretty quickly if they do exceed expectations in the early going against a very difficult schedule. And outside of the Rams game, I'm expecting pretty positive outcome. 2-1 going into the Niners game. That's the swing game on whether they finish 4-2 or 3-3, in my opinion, in that first 6. Okay.
Maybe I'll be trading them. Maybe live trading them. Maybe I sell off my positions.
Ooh.
Taking a couple of round trips to Denver. So, let's go Broncos. It'll be fun. The last 2 for this division on Wednesday will be a lot of fun because there's a lot going on in Los Angeles. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs, man.
That's right.